It's the 27-minute comedy hour. It's like what you see on TV, except it's online. 27-minute comedy hour. Everything in a comedy hour except half the time.
Hello and welcome to the 27-minute comedy hour. This week I am glad to welcome my three wonderful guests. We've got Alex Salmon. We've got my next joke. We've got Andy Lloyd. We've got Dan Lyth, and we've got Sam Day.
Hello.
Someone's got an echo on them. Let's try and sort that out. Is that sorted? It doesn't sound like it. What about that one? Is it Sam? Oh, it might be me, folks. Well, my apologies. We've got a bit of an echo. Anyway, into today's news. So, in the news today, Alex Salmon gave his long-awaited evidence at a Scottish parliamentary hearing into their botched handling of sexual assault allegation against him, and has called for Nicola Sturgeon's resignation. Nicola Sturgeon said she would oversee the downfall of an institution. Turns out it was her own party. It seems that Salmon isn't actually angry with the charges that have been levelled against him, just how the case has been handled, which always makes me think that person's guilty. Obviously, if someone clocks a fart and you say whoever smelt it dealt it, and they go, yeah, but you can't prove it with that. They blatantly did it, didn't they? Meanwhile, Prince Harry has stepped back from public life by going on an open-top bus tour around Los Angeles with James Corden and the Late Late Show film crew. Corden used his intelligent and quick reporter's instinct to grill Harry on important issues like Archie's first word, which apparently was crocodile, which I think is absolute bullshit. Like, come on, pull the other one, Harry. I find the fact that this made it to the news annoying enough. Like, who thinks this is even worth reporting on? Like, I don't get it. Still, I suppose the days of royal affairs correspondence are numbered. Now men can openly come out as gay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I would like to welcome to the stage our first wonderful guest. It is Dan Lyth.
Hiya. Hi. Hey. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, my name's Dan. I'm 5'2". I've got size 5 feet, and I've got very tiny hands. But I do have a 7-inch penis, which is hard to grasp. So, yeah, not done much comedy during lockdown. I've just been locked down with my girlfriend, which is what I imagine marriage feels like. But I do love my girlfriend. She and I are the same height, so together we look like a couple of cosplay hobbits. And she does like a little bit of role play, if you know what I mean. The other day she let me into Mordor and I destroyed the One Ring. I lost the finger in the process. Luckily, my best friend Sam was there to help me. In fact, if you watch the footage back, you'll see him doing most of the work. He's the real hero. And she was sore on the following day. My girlfriend's recently turned 40, which means we now have to upload our home movies to a completely new category. She doesn't mind being labelled 40 plus, but she fucking hates being called an amateur. But it's not all bad. It's not all bad being this short. I mean, I can't reach top shelf porn magazines, but I am constantly eye level with women's breasts. So swings and roundabouts, which is what I like to call them. My girlfriend's gone back to college recently. She's gone back to college, which means she's a student and a MILF. That's 2 of my search histories. I was just waiting for a couple of grandkids and I'm all set. Yeah, always learning in our house. I learned a new word today, aptronym, also known as a name freak. Now, a name freak is when someone grows up to do what their name is, like Mr. Bun the baker, or Mr. Fry the fisherman, or Princess Di. So I am actually getting married this year. The upside is I've got a gig at a wedding. My girlfriend seems to think that some of my jokes might be a little inappropriate for some of the guests, you know, little kids and shit. So we're going over my material, and she says, "Dan, I just wish you would do 5 minutes without sex or drugs." Impossible. I can't even do that in real life. Especially at a wedding. And why should the kids miss out?
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Live! Woo!
Thank you.
That's amazing. I'd always heard of that thing as being called nominative determinism, right? And I heard the best case, like this is the best case of nominative determinism ever. There was a guy in America who did vasectomies, whose name was Dr. Richard Chop.
Oh dear.
And everyone called him Dick, so he was Dr. Dick Chop, and he did vasectomies. Like, how amazing is that?
The head of neuroscience in Britain is Dr. Brain.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I love anything like that. Those things are really cool. Okay.
My maiden name was Sam Wise because my parents never read a book, and I'm so it doesn't always work.
Turns out you're the real hero.
That's right. I'm 5'2", but I do not.
Was it you in Dan's story? Was that what it was, Sam?
My best friend Sam.
I didn't know you did that service on the side.
Well, times are tough, Simon.
Yeah. Do you do it or offer it a specially socially distanced service?
No, I do an illegal one.
Okay, well, that brings us on then, ladies and gentlemen, to our first game of the evening. Our first game tonight is a round of Crackpot Comments. Now, in Crackpot Comments, I've taken a comment from the internet, and our guests have just got to tell us what this person might have been commenting on. Our first one is, in many cases, they're not wrong.
Ooh. A lot of people believe that Boris Johnson is their father.
Is it people who cyberbully Tory supporters?
I was just thinking, when my friends say, "Oh, you only do comedy and make jokes because you're insecure," I'm like, "Well."
I thought this might be the government responding to criticisms on the self-COVID test results.
Mm-hmm.
No, in many cases, they're not wrong.
Okay.
I wondered if it's one of my workmates, actually, because they sometimes say my bark is worse than my bite. And in many cases, they're not wrong. They are wrong. My boss, Gavin, who I didn't like very much, I went right through to the bone with him.
Is it people who don't pay their TV license?
Or like, as a British person, if you ever speak to someone from America, they're like, "Oh, I bet you love tea." It's like, well, not all British people are mad for tea, but most.
Yeah. I thought this might be someone commenting on the Queens on RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's my brain, not an internet delay.
Yeah. Okay, right. So on to our next one then. Our next comment for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Their mistake was getting caught, not what they said. What is this person commenting on?
I don't know. I think like that's true as long as they're not talking about you. If they're talking about you, then it's what it's not the fact that you found out. It's what the bastard said that matters.
I feel this seems to be like the government's approach to anything that gets anyone in trouble. It's like, oh well, you shouldn't have got caught, should you?
It kind of reminds me of, do you remember when Gordon Brown got caught with his mic on and he called a woman a terribly bigoted woman? Remember that? Yeah, and she was actually an incredibly bigoted woman. Nothing wrong at all.
Or when Corbyn called Theresa May a stupid woman, and it's like, well, yeah, but you can't say that. Can you? But it's not wrong.
Is it what people say when they get caught shoplifting?
Yeah.
It's for my kids. Doesn't matter. It's still a crime.
Well, I wondered if it was someone commenting on hearing their parents talk dirty to each other.
Oh. Go to your room, you nasty boy.
Okay. Well, can I push anyone for the correct answer? Does anyone think they know it? Because I did think it might have been. I did think it might have been the church commenting on child abuse scandals.
But
There's a line, Simon, and you keep going through it.
Hey, the purpose of this show is to cross the line as often as possible.
I'm getting no points here.
So can I push anyone for the correct answer? Does anyone reckon they know what this is all about?
It's the teachers who got caught slagging off parents of kids on a meeting, and they didn't know it was public.
Absolutely. This is the
hilarious.
entire school board in California have had to resign after making disparaging remarks about the parents of their students. One teacher said that the students wanted their babysitters back. Another suggested that they wanted to stay at home and smoke weed. The parents probably would have been more chill about it, except the kids were pissing them off and they hadn't had a joint.
Yeah, you can't fucking blame them. They've been locked down with their kids for a year. Just like, get to school. There's only the janitor in. You're still going. You're still going.
Yeah.
And one of the teachers, didn't one of the teachers say his brother was like a legal drug dealer?
Yeah.
So he wants all the kids to go back so he can have his clientele.
Yeah, there's money in this for this guy.
Yeah,
Why is he so angry about it?
Yeah.
The shops are open.
Yeah, I watched just like one of the clips from this, and it's just the moment that the woman realizes that it's a public meeting, she just goes, "Uh-oh," and it's just like it's like that corny moment in films where someone's slagging someone off, and then they're just like, "Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he?" It's just
yeah, it is. It's the horror movie of the 21st century, like, isn't it? Like, you get caught on public view on Zoom.
Well, we've all done it, haven't we? We've all like left our laptop camera on, and we've all had to have a conversation with Mary from HR afterwards, and we've all understood that those sort of images are not what this company is all about, Samantha, and we've all not got to do any more Zoom meetings, so that's nice.
Oh, have we finally cracked the way to get out of Zoom meetings?
Yeah, amazing. Leave your laptop camera on for long enough.
Well, that brings us nicely, ladies and gentlemen, onto our joke competition for the evening. So we want to hear your best jokes about technology, okay, or funny stories. Post in the comments anything that's comical about technology that you've noticed, or something funny that's happened to you. We love to hear all of that kind of stuff. We'll read some of them out at the end and see what you guys have got. And whilst also my comedians tonight have also been coming up with some jokes about technology. So we'll see who gets to be funnier. Well, that brings us on, ladies and gentlemen, to our next act for the evening. I would like to welcome to the stage the wonderful Sandy. Woo!
Hello, everybody. I am indeed wonderful. And what I think is lovely about lockdown is we're all getting to know our neighbours a little bit better, aren't we? Because we're all at home a little bit more. And my neighbour is a man called Oliver, and he's a little bit selfish. This week he said to me, would I stay in between 10 and 11 a.m. to sign for a letter for him? And I was like, I do want to help, of course. I am a little bit busy. And you'll know yourself that 10 o'clock in the morning, it's Homes Under the Hammer, isn't it? If you miss the auction part of that show, you might as well not bother watching it. It's completely ruined. That's the thing. And it's not as if he does a lot for me. You know, when I moved in, he did do a few things. He like carried a few things in, you know, like the fridge and the washing machine, what have you. And he did do a little bit of sort of DIY for me. You know, he rewired the kitchen and did a loft conversion, but nothing of any note. That's the point. And, you know, he did actually bleed on my new carpet when he fell off the ladder. But I'm so nice. I'm so nice that I just let it go. And anyway, he's paid for the carpet now. So, you know. But he does do one thing that really annoys me, right? And that is he plays his guitar and I can hear it in my living room. And it's particularly bad if I turn the telly off and like put a glass up to the wall. I can definitely make it out. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, for God's sake, just stop. Stop him playing the guitar. He's being completely. And you're right. You know, of course you are. But I'm a spiritual person. And so instead of asking him to stop, I reached a compromise and I said, Oliver, you play your lovely guitar as much as you like. I'll just choose what you play and when you play it. And one of the things I like to have Oliver play for me is Neil Diamond at lunchtime, Sweet Caroline. Normal. And it was all working very well until he goes, oh, I can't do this lunchtime shift no more. I've got to go back to work because I've used up all my holiday. So, you know, I was umming and ahhing about what to do because you know what I'm like, I'm just nice. And in the end, I decided that wasn't a joke. The nicest, fairest thing to do was for me to just ring up Oliver's boss and explain that Oliver has been abusing his position in the accounts department and he is planning quite a big fraud. And I didn't know that was the right thing to do. I wasn't sure. But as it turns out, it was, because Oliver's at home all the time now. And that's good because I've got a tree in my garden and it's leaning at quite a dangerous angle. And I don't think it would be safe for me to use a chainsaw myself. So I think it's good that he's off work. But relations between me and Oliver are not as warm as once they were, I'll tell you. And I cannot for the life of me work out why. And I think what it is, I think I know what it is. I think it's that, you know, understandably, he's feeling a little bit overcome with desire. I think that's probably it. And he puts a big smoke screen up. You know, he's got this girlfriend. She comes around quite a lot. But it doesn't fool me. No, because...
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Day! Woo! Alrighty then. So that brings us on to our next game tonight, which is, ladies and gentlemen, hashtag heathens. Okay, so our first, our only hashtag heathen today. So in hashtag heathens, I simply give you my comedians a tweet, something that's been trending on Twitter, but I've removed the hashtag. Can they tell me what this person might have been tweeting about? So our first one tonight is me putting my trust in
Elon Musk plans for my grandchildren.
Well, I wondered if it was the Queen, because she's telling us all to get a vaccine now, isn't she? I was like, me, putting my trust in the Queen, because she has exactly the same life as me. So, yes, of course, this is going to work.
I just thought putting my trust in hashtag smart price condoms. Some things you just can't cheap out on, you know.
No. I was going to say hashtag pushing out a fart.
Hashtag putting my trust in hashtag my vasectomy doctor.
Dr. Dick Chop's back.
I thought, is this when Matt Hancock says, oh, we need to rely on the common sense of the British public? And Boris goes, oh, me putting my trust in hashtag the plebs.
So it might be hashtag the 12-step program.
Putting my trust in hashtag any famous person from the 70s.
Excellent. Does anyone think they know the right answer?
I know the right answer.
Yes, go on then.
Is it hashtag Boris?
It is indeed. It's hashtag putting my trust in hashtag Boris. So this is all in aid of Boris's Boris's 4-stage plan, his roadmap out of lockdown. It's not his 12-stage program. So I thought we'd play a little game tonight, guys. Right? We're going to play a little game of sooner or later. Okay. Now, in sooner or later, I'm going to present you with some things that you might be looking forward to doing again at some point, and you've got to tell me whether you can do it sooner or later than the previous thing. Okay. So it's a bit like higher or lower with cards. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to give you is you and a friend can, in a pub, have a drink and a pint of beer together. So you can have a drink in a pub with a friend, and supposedly you'll be able to do that on the 17th of May. So your next thing is you can play a match of football. Can you do that sooner or later than the 17th of May?
I think in my case, it's definitely later. So I'm not
That's it. I think I don't play football especially pissed, so it's going to be sooner.
I'd say sooner, but if you did it later, it makes the football more interesting. If you've it's almost more of a challenge sort of thing.
It was sooner, so well done. I think that's a point to Dan, point to Andy.
I think
okay, then.
point to me. I think it's point to me.
Well, but you said later, which theoretically in your case is true. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're going to find your way around every single one of these rules, that's going to be problematic.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So with that, you can do that on the 29th of March. So the next one then is you can go alone to the gym.
Oh, again later. Never. It's
Never.
You shouldn't be allowed.
I think that's later because all your mates are staying in the pub and you're the only one who's going to the gym. I go to the gym. Oh, see you, mate. I've been waiting a year for this. Enjoy.
I wonder if it's later because all the gyms have actually gone out of business now. So it's quite difficult to go to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, if you give people the choice, it's like pub or gym. I feel like the pubs are going to do better out of it. You know, I think later.
Okay, yeah, it is later. So you can go to the gym from the 12th of April. Okay, then you can have sex with a stranger.
Oh, again.
That's awkward because I'm getting married. So.
Well, I'm already doing Dan's fiance, aren't I?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Very nervous. Dan.
Yeah. She's watching.
Okay, so we're not going to get an honest answer from Dan.
No, it's never. It's never.
Never. No, the answer there was later. Okay, so it's later. You'll be able to have a sex with a stranger on the 21st of June. Hi, everybody. Exciting.
Great.
Save the date. You and your okay, your next one then. Can you do this sooner or later than having sex with a stranger? You and your family can drive to meet another family for a picnic.
I'm going to say later because I've not yet learned to drive.
Yeah.
And I was
say sooner. I think that's quite. I mean, are we doing that? Are we not doing that at the moment? I'm not sure. Yeah, that's sooner, isn't it? It's basically now with a bit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
No one's going to have sex with a stranger at the family picnic, is it?
Yeah, let's really hope.
It'll be illegal.
It's been a whole year, guys.
I really hope that's not how you greet your family at the next picnic.
None of you are strangers, but oh well.
All right then, last one then. We can have a proper comedy gig again.
Hey, that's going to be later, isn't it? Because
I think that's May.
Yes.
I don't know.
The date that every comedian knows. It's May. It's the 17th of May.
I mean, no one comes to my gigs, so I could do it now. And
Yeah.
That's socially distanced.
Yeah.
No one's there.
Yes,
Definitely, that's
this is Boris's roadmap out of lockdown, a metaphor that drew encouragement for many, except the people of Milton Keynes.
I don't get.
Milton Keynes made of roundabouts.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, 200,000 people have signed a petition against the proposal of vaccine passports as a way to get the economy up again. They said they could be used to restrict the rights of people who have refused a COVID-19 vaccine. Yes, that's the point.
Yes.
That is the whole point of the... Jesus, I can't believe we need to explain this. Guys, how do we feel about Boris's plan out of lockdown?
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit kind of contradictory because he said the steps, each step is going to be cautious but irreversible. And so he's kind of saying, like, you know, like if you cross the road, you should be cautious doing that. But once you've stepped off the curb, you cannot go back. Even if a fucking steamroller comes around the corner at 80 miles an hour, you've made your choice, you know.
I can't remember what step it was, but I did read somewhere that it said that 15 people can come to a wedding and 30 people can come to a funeral, which means that double the amount of people can see the end of your life, and only half of that can see the beginning of the end of your life.
I like the fact that he called it a road map as well. Just, you know, it conjures up images of him driving us around the countryside going, no, I think it's here. No, it's here. I know it.
One of his many girlfriends just like, well, can we just pull over and ask for fucking directions?
And his sat nav's going, do a U-turn. Do a U-turn. Do a U-turn.
You should be used to that by now, to be fair.
Yeah. All right,
said,
then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us on to our very last act of the evening. It is the wonderful Andy Lloyd.
Woo! Hey, so my name's Andy, and straight out the gate, I'm going to tell you a little story so you can find out a little bit about what kind of person I am. So this is back when I was about 15, and I was out drinking with a few friends in the classiest establishment that a 15-year-old can hope to go drinking. It was a local car park. And me and a friend were doing what I think is a very classic boy thing, is we were having a wee up a wall, trying to see who could wee the highest. If there's any men that have never done this, then I'm afraid they haven't really experienced life to the fullest. And any women that have done it, you just have to admire the boldness of that. But I basically decided that I wanted to win. And so I had a plan, was that in the contest, mid-piss, I was going to jump. Now, that sounds risky, but, you know, I was going for the win. So I jumped. It was a perfectly executed up and down that resulted in a beautiful, smooth arc of piss. And my mate just watched on in amazement. And it was an amazing victory. I was very proud. Now, some years later, I was weeing up against the wall again, this time on my own. I thought back to that first time and I got all proud and nostalgic. And then, for no reason, I did it again. I jumped. And this time, the piss splashed all up in my face. Now, thinking back, I think I might have been drunk. And in fact, I hope I was, because the only other explanation is that I'm just a bit of a fucking idiot. But basically, I'm trying to think, what can you tell from me as a person about this, from this story? Well, first of all, I'm ambitious. You know, I'm not content to piss second highest up the wall. You know, I come up with a plan to achieve my goals. I am driven. I'm also impulsive, and I make some questionable decisions, which lead to me sometimes metaphorically or otherwise pissing on my own face. What else can I tell you about me? I come from Birmingham. Now, most people surveyed said they'd rather have chlamydia than a Birmingham accent. which, to be fair, to start with, I was a bit upset by that. But then I thought, well, you know, chlamydia is easier to get rid of, so it's kind of understandable. It turns out that it's also less off-putting when it comes to having sex with someone as well. What can you do? I just want to say I'm very glad to be here, because I was really disappointed when live comedy, you know, sort of came to an end. More disappointed than that day. I thought I'd seen a talking dog. It turned out to just be a fucking man with a beard. I ran over, all excited. Oh, who's a clever boy? Who's a clever boy? To this bewildered man. You know, there was metaphorical piss on my face that day, is all I'll say. Just to close off, I just want to, now that things are getting better and there's a way out, I just want to tell people to be kind, you know, to the people that you love, be positive, because if you're not good to the people that have stood by you over this past trick year, then they will leave you, potentially for someone with chlamydia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Lloyd! Woo! Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of our proceedings. We've run over a little bit this evening, but live now over on the our YouTube channel, you can go and check out last week's 20 minutes more that we're all about to go off and record now. It's a great little chat all about the media and how terrible and shit that world is. So that's going to be good fun. So do come and join us for that. We've had an absolute pleasure having you with us. Big thanks to my guests. We've had the brilliant Sanday. Woo! We've had Dan live, and we've had Andy Lloyd. So a massive thanks to you for watching at home. We'll try and get to our extra jokes in the outro bit later on. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe until next week, folks. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
It's the 27-minute comedy hour. It's like what you see on TV, except it's online. 27-minute comedy hour. Everything in a comedy hour except half the time.